Is tropical development likely this week, or will the Saharan dust limit that opportunity? Your forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas starts right now.
This is Meteo Mundo.
Hi friends, Rusty back here at Meteo Mundo. Great to see you on this Monday. Want to thank everyone who joined me for our live stream overnight and early on this Monday, tracking Hurricane Beryl into Texas. Texas had some significant impacts, significant storm surge, heavy rain and flooding, wind damage, even some tornadic activity. So our thoughts are with our friends in Texas and the other areas of the Caribbean impacted by historic Beryl, the Yucatan, Jamaica, the Windward Islands, other areas. I'd love to hear from you guys and how you're doing on this Monday. Drop it in the comments section below. Give us an update on what's happening in your area as some of the cleanup efforts really begin in some spots. And for places like Texas, they're really just beginning. So coming up in this video, we're going to have a battle of tropical waves and Saharan dust in the Atlantic, and we'll get into that. I do want to start with what's happening on this Monday afternoon. You're looking at our live satellite radar data, lightning data. I've thrown on our heat index numbers here in Fahrenheit. And as it has dried out a bit, it has gotten really steamy, even in a couple of spots that have actually had a few storms that have developed today. So we'll kick it off with our friends in the Bahamas, noting a few storms developing just east of Walker's Key, trying to drift off towards the south. And again, they're very limited, and it's a lot about how hot it's been. We can take a look here at the composite radar out of this area. And again, good lightning that drifted over Abaco. We had a few storms there. They're also kind of fading out as they moved across Abaco. Walker's Key, a brief shower, trying to get towards Andros and Nassau. But friends, it's really more about the heat, the feels like temperatures. 103 in Freeport, 105 in Androstown, 103 in Nassau. So just a couple of isolated showers there, but generally we've been dry. And that's the case through the remainder of the central and the southeast Bahamas and into the Turks and Caicos, where again, feels like numbers running above 100 degrees. You get to 110, by the way, that is 43.3 degrees Celsius. We've dried out in Cuba, and we're seeing some of those feels like temperatures hit 100 degrees to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Same thing for our friends in the Cayman Islands. Again, we see a couple of lightning strikes here and there, but nothing really over the island at the present time. Also getting pretty steamy and drying out in Jamaica. Now again, recovery efforts from Beryl continue in those spots. Feels like temperatures here look like this. That's the actual temperature. Then we'll put on the feels like numbers. Those will hopefully pop up here in just a second. And it's 111 in Kingston. You're talking about a really steamy day. Again, it's 43 degrees Celsius. Hot, relatively quiet as far as any showers, not expecting much as we go through the remainder of the afternoon hours. It's also been relatively quiet with just a few isolated storms developing across portions of Hispaniola. And again, temperatures here are getting hot. Now, obviously, where we haven't had some rain, we're going to be above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. We've had a few more storms develop today here in an isolated fashion, and we're going to try and even get a few more coming in on our Tuesday as well. So again, we can see these numbers. Santiago de los Caballeros was above 100. Now they've had a few showers in the area. They've dropped down. It is very area dependent, but these storms will produce some brief heavy rain and a fair amount of lightning as well. But again, if you're not catching those, it's going to be hot. It's going to be steamy. For our friends in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, look at Ponce's feels like temperature around 108. Again, a few storms developing at the hour. You can see Aguadila's temperature coming down as the storms have developed there. We've had a couple in portions of the U.S. Virgin Islands as well. They've really just flared up over St. Thomas. They've drifted west towards Culebra. So again, isolated storms, and this area does have a slightly better chance for some more rain later this evening as well. So scattered storms will continue to develop. Again, heavy rainfall and a lightning will accompany this along with some gusty winds, but obviously helping to cool the temperature. Our friends in St. Croix, 105 up towards Tortola and Roadtown, around 102. Really rough afternoon if you're not catching the storms. Now we're getting a little bit of moisture coming back into the Leeward Islands. A few scattered showers out there, nothing extremely prominent. There's some Saharan dust also being mixed in. There's some cloud coverage, if nothing else. Drop it in the comments section below if you've seen some rain from Anguilla to St. Bartholomew, St. Kitts and Nevis, Barbuda, Antigua, Montserrat, down towards Guadeloupe. Just a little bit there. You can see a couple of lightning strikes. We start to get down towards Dominica, and we start to dry out a bit as well. And again, feels like numbers there pushing 110 Fahrenheit in a couple of spots. Same thing for our friends in Martinique, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Barbados, where again, down towards the Bridgetown area, feels like temperature in the afternoon hit about 105. We've had a few brief passing showers trying to sneak down towards Trinidad. We've had a few trying to get towards Nueva Esparta there. You can see the temperature drop as we've had a little bit of moisture come back into play. Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, again, we're just like on the fringe of getting a couple of showers here. Note a downpour in the Curacao area. So if you caught that, let us know in the comments section below. But again, a brief little shower there right over the island, and it's been so desperate to get some of that rain. It's good to see at least an isolated shower in that area. Now we swing over to Central America, and this is the spot that is going to stay wetter again. The remnants of what was 96L, the Central American gyre, all still coming into play. Storms are getting very prolific right now through portions of coastal Honduras and Nicaragua, back down towards Costa Rica and Panama. These are prolific storms, heavy rain, a lot of lightning, gusty winds to go along with it. Dries out a bit as you get towards the northern sides of Honduras, but still some scattered showers developing there. Could catch some showers towards Roatan and then towards Belize. We had it a little bit earlier today, now drifting towards the west, back towards the Yucatan, but a few storms in the far inland areas of Belize earlier this afternoon, and a couple of passing showers up towards Cozumel and Cancun, but nothing, again, crazy outrageous as far as that goes. More of that moisture is drifting back off towards the west. So that's what it looks like, friends, on this Wednesday afternoon. So now we're going to get into what's going to be happening in the forecast. And as we do that, again, I thank you so much for liking this video. Appreciate all of our new subscribers here at Meteo Mundo. If you're not a subscriber, you want your forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas, you found your home. Hit that subscribe button right now. Appreciate you sharing it with your family and friends. And thanks for all those who have found ways to support Meteo Mundo, membership, super thanks, and other ways in the description below. So again, we're going to have a battle, guys, between the Saharan dust and the tropical waves that are going to be moving through the development region of the Atlantic. I first want you to note, just going to let this Saharan dust loop go over the next 5 days. It is going to be quite significant. Waves of very significant dust will continue to stream off the West African coast. We're going to note even thicker Saharan dust over the Eastern Caribbean, a lot of the Leeward Islands and the Greater Antilles, all the way down towards the Windward Islands here over the next few days. So this first plume will have some impacts and a secondary one coming in closer to the weekend. But again, a lot of haze in the sky for the Lesser and Greater Antilles, and that will try and work its way all the way into Central America. And then on the heels of that, another plume comes off the West African coastline, will try and march its way back into our area as we get into the weekend. So multiple waves of dust. Some of that will be quite concentrated as well. Now back into the Atlantic, again, we're seeing a few tropical waves of note. Notice they're in relatively low latitudes, and you notice up here, there's a big void in the satellite image here. When I switch over this and I show you the, it's called the differential water vapor imagery. You can see it on the thumbnail, by the way. It's very clear to see where we have the moisture-laden air with the tropical waves, but this huge area that's basically devoid of a lot of moisture right now, and that is, of course, the Saharan dust. It's going to encompass a lot of the main development region of the Atlantic. Now, we note that there was some Saharan dust when Beryl tried to form, but this Saharan dust looks even more concentrated right now. So now we're going to have to look at how these waves, like this one right here, are going to interact with that Saharan dust, and whether there's any opportunity that they're going to try and develop as they march to the west and closer to the Lesser Antilles. So let's get into that right now. We're going to take a look. I'll switch over here to a couple of different models. First one I'm going to show you is going to be the GFS model, and we're going to kind of look at the broad perspective. And then I still think that the NAM model has a little bit better handle on what's going to be happening with that wave as it gets into the Caribbean. So let me load that up real quick. Might just take a second. Again, hope you're doing well. If you haven't done it yet, drop it in the comment section below. If you've been impacted by Beryl, let us know how you're doing. If you have a specific question about the forecast, feel free to drop that in the comment section below. More than happy to answer. So you notice that these waves on the GFS get eaten up pretty quickly by this drier air. We are going to see moisture axis being able to work its way into the Lesser Antilles, especially down towards the Windward Islands, Trinidad, Tobago, Grenada, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines, and you can see some of that rain. But as far as having anything that continues to be organized, marching west, at least for the next 3 to 5 days, doesn't look to be in the cards, which of course is great news. We'll take the break. Now again, I said this before Beryl even formed. Even when you're talking about Saharan dust, it's not a binary forecast, meaning it's not a yes or no, especially when you're dealing with La Nina, extremely warm ocean temperatures as well, and very little wind shear. So we're not going to say anything is closed for business here, but the Saharan dust looks to have a fairly significant impact, at least in the short term. All right. Now, again, is it all fantastic news? Not necessarily, because you saw how hot it was when we're not getting these downpours coming in. So we could use a little bit of the rain. Obviously, that doesn't come along with the tropical development. So let me switch over here to the NAM model now, and we're going to take a look at the NAM, because again, I think it has a little bit better handle on what happens with these waves as they get into the eastern side of our area. First of all, note, again, we'll start to see another wave impact the area tomorrow, just at least kind of a moisture axis elongated from south to north. This is going to provide portions of the Leeward Islands and Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and Hispaniola with a little bit better chance for rain over the next 24 to 36 hours. It's still going to be fighting haze and Saharan dust, but just note that we're going to start to see a little bit better concentration of rain beginning to move back in. So rain chances in these areas will be going up some. It's not going to be extremely high any one day, but a 40, maybe 50% chance for places like Santo Domingo, San Juan, Tortola, Anguilla, St. Kitts and Nevis, down towards about Guadalupe and Dominica. We'll see more rain down towards Trinidad and Tobago, as I showed you on the GFS, and then a little bit more scattered in nature for places like St. Vincent, the Grenadines, St. Lucia, Barbados, Martinique. Still an opportunity, but just not as high as areas actually south and north, just kind of based on what I've been seeing. Nueva Esparta, just a few scattered showers, not expecting a lot more rain. In the ABC Islands, this is going to be more localized, more area dependent, no huge moisture axis swinging into that area. An area that is going to be drying out a bit will be Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. Again, we're not going to be noting any big plumes of tropical moisture coming in here. We will see passing showers. We'll see a few storms develop in the heat of the day, but right now you're looking at about a 30% chance at best. And again, for some areas that need the cleanup efforts to continue, it's not the worst case scenario, but it is going to be very hot and very humid. Now again, back into Central America, this is one area with the Central American gyre that's still in play, where we're going to have more numerous showers. Is it the kind of rains every day that we saw before Beryl? No. But am I going to be noting a higher opportunity for places like Cancun and Belize City, Roatan, San Pedro Sula? Absolutely, compared to our friends off towards the east. This is still going to be the wetter area here. Again, the Central American gyre still spinning around, still allowing a lot of lift in the atmosphere as well. Then we swing on over towards the Bahamas, and this is going to be an area that's going to have a decent chance for some rain the next couple of days, especially far northwest Bahamas, okay? Walker's Key, Freeport, Abaco, Andros, New Providence, Eleuthera, maybe as far south as Long Island, Cat Island, Exuma area. You get down towards Acklands and then into the Turks and the Caicos, we start to dry out a little bit more. Just not as much moisture present here, unfortunately, for those areas that could use a little bit more rain. And then for Bermuda, again, we're going to see a few isolated showers. The system coming off of the United States East Coast, I'll be watching not for tropical development, but for the opportunity to pull some more moisture back into your area, but that will not be occurring over the next 3 to 5 days. It's going to be relatively quiet there. So again, we'll be watching waves moving in. You can clearly see that we have our easterlies still in play here. And again, we'll have bursts of convection, but nothing that should be organized as far as tropical activity, at least through Friday, and nothing that's going to be sticking around one area for very long. So let's break down that rain chance. For the northwest Bahamas, the areas I mentioned, it's about a 40% chance of rain. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we'll cut it back down to 30% on Thursday. Just a little bit lower chance for the central and southeast Bahamas, not completely dry, but also don't be shocked if you don't get a lot of rain over the next 3 days as well. Turks and Caicos, tomorrow through Thursday, just a 20% chance. Again, Cuba has dried out a bit as well, so we know it's going to be steamy in these areas. Cayman Islands, just a 30% chance tomorrow, and then we're down to a 20% chance Wednesday, Thursday. Your higher rain chances in Belize City, Cancun, and Cozumel, but those will slightly taper off through Thursday as some of that moisture actually pushes even farther off towards the west. Jamaica, I think it's just about a 30% chance with a few storms developing in the afternoon hours, but again, nothing very concentrated. Dominican Republic, Republic as that moisture axis swings in tomorrow. Higher rain chances tomorrow, then back down to a 30% chance Wednesday, Thursday. Puerto Rico. And by the way, my friends in Puerto Rico and the U.S. and British Virgin Islands, your best rain chance may occur within the hour or two just before sunset every night. More of a very late afternoon or even very early evening maximum for the showers and storms. Places like St. Thomas, St. Croix, and St. John included in that, of course. Bermuda, again, very isolated rain chances. Anguilla, 40% chance for tomorrow. A little bit drier Wednesday, more moisture coming back in with another tropical wave on Thursday. So we're a 50% chance there, and St. Kitts and Nevis. Antigua, Barbuda, decent rain chances. Again, we had a little bit of shower activity in that area today. We're still fighting the Saharan dust in this area as well, so haze will be an issue. Same situation for Guadeloupe. Again, noting a little bit lower rain chances for places like Guadeloupe, Barbados, and Grenada overall, but not completely dry. Trinidad and Tobago, still a little bit better chance for rain on Wednesday, slightly drier on Thursday, and then relatively dry Nueva Esparta, especially for the ABC Islands. A couple of rogue showers there, but again, not in a lot of way of some rain. For our boaters out there, again, we'll stay with our easterlies. Now that we're done with Beryl, which was a 2-week storm, we will start to see the surf and sea conditions relax a little bit as well. Still going to have our east winds, bit of a flare-up of some activity as far as some wind and waves into the western sides of the Caribbean noted over the next couple of days, but then that will quiet down as well. At this point in time, I don't note anything of a highlight for our mariners, but I'll keep a close eye on that. Obviously, the Pacific would be a whole different story. Friends, again, I appreciate all of the support. Thank you for joining us through all the live streams, through the life of Beryl. If you want to find us on our other social media, Instagram, X, Facebook, you can send us a picture or video. And if you have some of those, especially from Texas or other areas impacted by Beryl, that is myMediaMundo@gmail.com. Also, thank you to all of you who have found us on TikTok. We've had 60, 80,000 views with our latest TikTok videos, and I appreciate all the support there. Again, got a question or comment about the video, drop it in the comment section below. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Have a great rest of your Monday, friends. I'll see you tomorrow right here at Meteo Mundo.